What's good, everyone? Aggie Coach here, man. So this is a special time for me, man. I'm getting ready to do something a little bit different. I hadn't done this before, but I was sitting here just thinking, and this is one of those times, I just got off work and I'm at home relaxing right now, and Alabama has a really big game coming up. And it's kind of a special time for me because we've already done the recruiting, the off season and everything, and kind of getting the teams together. And the Alabama team is a special team for me because this team was the beginning of my introduction into customs. And prior to Big Lock introducing this Alabama team to me, I didn't know much of anything about custom figures and how to go about customizing my own figures and really putting together a stunning looking team. And this is like the first custom team. Now this is Big Lock's team, and this team is probably 15 years old. But Big Lock was gracious enough to send them to me at the beginning of season 2, and so now here we are in season 3, and I find myself on the eve of Alabama's game at home, big game they got coming up against Calgary. And one of the things that I wanted to do right here, we got Nyshawn McArthur. I don't know if you guys remember him from the Combine. What I'm actually doing right now is restoring this team, and I had to do a lot of research to go and try and make sure that I mix the right colors together to get that crimson color that Alabama actually has. And I'm right now getting ready to sit down and start putting Sean Alexander's color on him, not Sean McArthur's color on him, and I'm also doing the rest of the team for Alabama. Now this is going to take me some time to do. It's going to take me some time to do, but like that's what I'm doing right now is I'm actually spending the time getting the painting done and just trying to kind of get these guys together. And so since I'm doing this, I thought that I would come up with a new segment for the channel for all the young kids that actually want to customize their own figures and want to learn how to paint their figures. I noticed that a lot of you guys are using markers. You can go to Michael's and you can get your paints. They're called model color paints. They're made by Vallejo. You can go and you can get your paints and you can do your own team. You can paint them up really nice. Just take your time. Try not to miss any of the details. Take your time and really try to keep it neat. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to take a little break off camera so I can get some coverage because the camera wouldn't have been able to pick up this angle, and I needed to kind of have my hands free. But I wanted you guys to see right now. I'm just trying to right now get the colors filled out, and I'm going to show you guys what colors I actually used. That I had to actually mix these colors to actually get Alabama's the correct color for Alabama, and then how you actually go about sealing the color in once you get it done. So kids, just make sure, man, that you talk with your parents before you go out and start working on these kind of things. Make sure that you don't get paints that have fumes, because those fumes are unsafe for you guys, right? So you want to get either acrylic or water-based paints for your miniatures so you can start painting. Now if you guys will talk with your parents, if you're interested in getting some custom figures, and I'm gonna tell you, man, this particular team that I'm currently working on restoring right now, this team is one of the first. The Ohio State team was the first custom team that I received, but I had no idea what I was looking at after I got them. But Big Lock was the first person to provide me with custom figures, and at the same time educate me on the evolution of these custom figures. Like they can be very positional. You can have certain figures that on your team that shine in specific positions or specific situations that you might find your team in. You can have that situational guy that can come in the game and turn things around for you. So customs, have a really, really important role, and not only that, but they also make your team look really stunning too. It gives you like a really, really dynamic feel to your team as well. So you want to take your time with your figures, and try not to rush when you're painting your figures. You really want to take your time, and then you want to put that clear coat on them when you finish, so that you can make sure that you seal your colors in, so your colors don't get damaged as you're handling your miniatures. So I'm gonna take a moment right here as I'm working on restoring these guys, because this is going to be a long process. I started with my 2 quarterbacks. Now here's what I do, how I go about doing mine. Because the Fed 8 miniature college football style that we play is important that you are organized. So one of the things that I have done is I have my roster right here. I have my roster, and I have my miniatures organized, situated here in my workstation. I have my miniatures situated here, lined up based on how my roster is set up, so I can remember who's going to be at what position. So when I get to the point where I seal in the colors and I start decaling, it's very organized, and I'm able to keep up with what I need to do. This right here is one of my favorite figures that Big Lock sent. So I'm gonna tell y'all this now, man. If you are, that's Julio Jones. If you want to get you some figures, if you want to get you some customs, this is as good a time as any. If you guys are interested in getting you some custom figures from 4th and 1 Customizations, Big Lock is the man to look up, man. You guys can find him on Facebook. I will put his contact information. I'll put his contact information down so you guys can get in contact with him, because from what I'm understanding right now, he's got this special sale going on. I wanted to kind of tell you guys about. He's got a special sale going on for customs for all you new guys. If you're interested in getting some customs, he's got this special sale going on right now, and it's a really good deal. Like you can get a whole team, a whole offensive team, like 11 players for your offense. You can get 11 players. He's doing 11 players, all completely customized too, man. 11 players completely customized for $55. That's a really, really good deal. And shoot, I'm gonna get me some too. But I just want y'all to, if you want to get you some really, really customized players that can do some unique things in the game, depending on the kind of schemes that you're running. If you're just playing like straight ahead push, that's a whole nother thing too. I know a lot of you new kids out there that you guys are playing. I know you guys are playing. You just line them up and just let them go after each other. And customs is like, custom figures are great for that kind of thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you guys are you're not really advanced in football yet, but you guys are already playing, that's a good start. It's a really good start as well, because custom figures will give you some huge advantages in games when you understand them a little more, but they also make your teams look really good. And Big Lock is really good about, making good deals with people. He made some really good deals with me. He's made good deals with other people as well around the hobby. A lot of you guys, if you want to get in contact with him about his customs, really, really good prices on customs. And you know what? You also can ask him. You can ask him, to make your figures look a certain way. So Bryson, like you, for example, Bryson, if you want the Michigan Wolverines and you want the running back to have a certain kind of pose, you want him to be, you want him to lean a certain way, or you want him jumping, or you want him diving, you want him making a juke move or cutting, or however you want him, man. Go to 4th and 1 Customizations YouTube channel. Go to 4th and 1 Customizations YouTube channel and leave Big Lock a message, man. Leave him a message on his YouTube channel and tell him what you want. I'm telling y'all, because I spoke to him a little while ago, and he has this really, really good deal going on right now for custom figures. If you guys are really interested in custom figures, all you young guys, man, talk to mom and dad. Let them know for $55 you can get a whole 11-man squad for offense or defense, whichever one you want. He even can make them interchangeable, if that's what you want. You can get a whole 11-man squad. Now, they're not going to come painted. Now, you're going to have to do the painting yourself. But you can get a whole 11-man squad for $55. That's just a great deal. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. So, as I'm trying to churn it out, man, I'm trying to get through these things. For Alabama this year, they have 2 new quarterbacks. Their other 2 quarterbacks have graduated. So they have 2 new quarterbacks, John Ward and Josh Hopper, 2 freshmen. These 2 quarterbacks are going to be really, really good for this team. They also brought in a new fullback, and Martin Payton, who did pretty good in the combine. And then Alabama also got away with Nyshawn MacArthur, who was the top rated running back in the combine that we did last summer. He was the top rated running back. He had the highest markings out of all of the running backs in the running back combine. He ended up with the highest markings, and so Alabama got a huge steal. On top of that, they got Bobby Humphrey coming back, and I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the game for season 2. If you haven't had an opportunity to see it, go back and check out the game where Alabama and South Carolina State play, and that game takes place at South Carolina State. And Alabama, you will see, like in that first drive, you'll see Bobby Humphrey just bust a big run on a sweep, and I think he went like 60 yards for a touchdown on that big run. I got Bobby Humphrey right here. He right here. I just got finished painting, doing his crimson. So like right now, all I'm doing is I'm going through these guys, and I'm gonna show y'all how I had to mix my paints in my pot too, because to get this color was not easy. I actually had to go online and try and figure out what kind of pigment was being used for that color, that kind of color, like what colors was put together. I spoken to a bunch of people because I'm also in the war games industry, and so I do a lot of wargaming with Warhammer, and a lot of those guys are really high-end painters. They're really good at painting, and I showed them some pictures of the Alabama Crimson Tide football team. And so one of my guys at the war game store told me exactly what 2 paints I needed to mix together. And here's the cool thing about these 2 paints. These paints are from Vallejo. You notice that I'm just painting right over this model without stripping him from his previous paint. right? I'm just painting right over him without stripping him, without stripping the paint off. And the reason that I'm doing that, the reason that I can do that and still get great coverage is because these paints, these new paints that just came out, these model color paints from Vallejo, these acrylic paints are actually, they have enough pigment in them that you can actually paint over these. They call these paints base coating paints. And you can paint right over top of another color and that color will still shine through. It's strong enough that it will overpower the current red, and it'll shine right through and allow you to really make up a lot of time. Because normally if I'm repainting miniatures or restoring miniatures, I have to put them in oven cleaner and wait for wait overnight and wait for it to dry, wait for it to come off so I can take the colors off, and then you have to wash them and wait for it to dry, and it takes a long time. And this is something that I wanted to go ahead and jump on right away. So the guys told me about this paint. I went and picked up this paint, man. Look at the coverage that I'm getting with this paint. I'm painting over top of paint, right? And I'm gonna do 2 coats. I'm gonna do 2 coats of this red. Now I had to mix this red, so the 2 colors is Vallejo Model Air. Okay, this is maroon. So I had to mix this color and this color, flat red. You mix these 2. Right, you mix these 2, get an even ratio. You mix these 2, and you get a perfect shade of crimson. I took it and I put it next to the Alabama Crimson Tide photo that I had. I put it next to the photo, and it was perfect. It came out perfect. It was the exact same color, the correct color of that crimson. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish these out. And in the next video, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video now. Don't forget, man, 4th and 1 customizations. Go over to his YouTube channel. If you want to get some customs, you can get them like down lineman, like this guy right here. You can get them down lineman. You can get them blocking, hands up. He can do them however you want. You can get the defensive tackles with the flared arms out, so they can catch they can catch blitzing outside linebackers trying to blitz off the corner. It's just great. They're also good at pass blocking. There's some really, really cool stuff. The wide receivers, he can completely customize them. Jumping wide receivers, twisting wide receivers, diving, running. You name it, man. He can do it. So, my boy Big Lock, man. So if you guys want to get some customs, like I said, I'm going to get me some. $55 for 11 customs. That's like insane. That is insane. But he's got this crazy deal going on. I'm gonna go ahead and finish working on these and get my coats done on these. Just get my 2 coats down to try to get full coverage on these guys, and I'm gonna do it off camera, and then I'll come back in video number 2. And then I'll show you guys what I'm gonna be doing with the white and how I'm gonna go about customizing. We're gonna do gloves on these guys. We're gonna do towels. We're gonna do neck rolls. We're gonna hook them up. Don't forget, hit the like button on the way out, y'all. Peace.